A warm welcome to you, my friends. This is a 60-minute intermediate vinyasa class, vinyasa practice. And we're going to be heading towards tripod headstand, or at least I'll shed some light on some details of that tripod headstand. And for some of you that might be confident with it, maybe some tips to come towards crow, which is an interesting transition. Outside of that, we'll be opening up the hip flexors a little bit and getting into a little bit of back bending. We'll just have some fun with the body, hey? We'll start in a seated position. Once you've found your seated position, get nice and comfy and we'll shut down the eyes. We'll start with a little breathing practice, but here just find some comfort and stillness to begin with. And really, the foundation of the practice is a kind of self-awareness. To start to project your attention, your awareness, more inwardly rather than outwardly. Now, the rest of the day, projecting your awareness outwardly is obviously critical, very important. Interacting with life and getting the things done throughout your day that you need to. But here, we take some time to get some things done internally. And in general, overall, we're pointing ourselves towards a place of well-being through the yoga practice. So systems of kind of yogic technology, if we can call it that. And the foundation of it is self-awareness on just an incredible amount of levels there. Physical, mental, emotional, energetic, and spiritual. So here, just get a feel for yourself. Basically put, get a feel for yourself. Tune into the state that you're in without needing to criticize or judge or change anything. Just awareness. Another way of saying awareness is to bring that awareness to a place of knowledge, to know something about yourself. So here, as you're just feeling into your mood, you're giving a sense of allowing now, allowing for your physical state, emotional state, mental state. And then with that acknowledgement, you kind of just set it aside and turn your attention to your breath. This becomes our primary tool to use throughout the practice of this technology of the breath in its systemized form. So yoga offers up some suggestions on how to breathe in a manner that's beneficial for multiple reasons. One, to create a physiological efficiency throughout your practice and a general health throughout the body. And another is to have an impact on conditioning your mind to focus. So here, simply bring your attention to your belly button. Start to feel the movement of your breath. So we've got integrated self-awareness there. You're aware of your own breath in the moment. But then you begin to expand the breath. Start to breathe a little bit more deeply and slowly. And as you're starting to coordinate your breathing, naturally, your attention has to be centered within yourself on the breath to this just very simple task. Deepening the breath, swelling the belly, warming the diaphragm in one sense. And so as the breath becomes the central point of interest, you can work with it much more closely. Start to breathe in for 6 seconds. Hold that breath in at the top for 3 seconds. Breathe out for 6 seconds and hold that breath out for 3 seconds. So 6 in, 3 hold, 6 out, 3 hold. I'm going to leave you with this for just a couple of rounds in silence. But as you're doing this, see if you can keep a level of accountability, a level of focus on the breath by simply kind of refining the breath. See if you can make the breath smooth, gentle, and delicate. I'll leave it with you a couple of rounds. 6 in, 3 hold, 6 out, 3 hold. Keep the jaw nice and soft, the shoulders nice and soft. A little lift in the lower back, and let's just do one more round from wherever you're at. And after you complete it, come back into a nice, gentle, deepened breath. And notice that it does make an impact on really your entire state of being. And it should point you towards a place of composure, or at least a kind of an internal coherence. There's a feeling of togetherness, a feeling of a kind of lightness or energization through the breath, but it's a calm energization. I want to keep those qualities throughout the practice as we start to integrate some postures, some movements with the breath. So go ahead and start to blink open the eyes and roll straight over the knees, coming into cat-cow. You could even keep the eyes pretty soft. Don't really need them too much here. So kind of transitioning with this really isolated internal body awareness. Now there's a little bit of interaction with the space around you. You can feel the ground beneath the hands and knees. In cat-cow, we dip the belly down as you inhale, you arch as you exhale. And just nice kind of spinal movement. The tailbone is moving now, tilting up and down. Shoulders are moving, squeezing the shoulder blades, rounding the shoulder blades. As you dip and arch, we'll just take a couple more movements with the breath, not really rushing anything, just kind of getting into the body in a much more dynamic way. And then just one more round and breath to go here. And coming up into down dog. So tuck the toes and lift the hips up. Nice gentle kind of entry into down dog, feeling it out. Not trying to strain the legs or the lower back. A little bit of movement, pedaling the legs. Even I really like to broadly sway the hips from side to side and kind of drop the heels to one side. And I really find you can get into the side body quite well, especially if you bend the knees and sort of push the ground away. So taking a few more breaths in down dog, getting accustomed to it. Getting into the body still. Breath is still moving nice and deeply. Just a breath more here. And then starting to walk your hands back towards your feet into a forward fold. Really just letting the whole upper body hang and dangle here. Maybe a little bit of body weight shifts from side to side, kind of like a tree swaying in the breeze. 2, maybe 3 more breaths here, relaxing the neck. And then ever so gently starting to roll up your spine through to standing. Reaching your arms up at the top, nice and slow. Reaching. And exhale, just very simply folding straight back down towards the ground. As soon as you're there, walk the hands out to plank position, shoulders above your wrists. Find that distance. Now really round through your upper back in high plank. Powerful position for the shoulders. Thighs are tight and belly's in. And then lift the hips back into down dog. And we'll do that just a couple more times. High plank coming forward, shoulders above wrists. Exhale takes you back to down dog. And just one more. High plank, come forward with the knees or not. Lower down through chaturanga until you're on the floor. Take the hands off the side of the mat. Inhale to lift the chest into cobra. And the exhale takes you back down. We keep on going. Inhale lifts the chest. Exhale takes you down. 2 more rounds to go. Keep the thighs nice and firm, the knees off the ground. The glutes squeezing, your butt cheeks. Last one, wherever you're at, do one more. And as the chest comes down, send yourself back through tabletop. Pause there for just a brief moment and, in fact, into child's pose, so butt to the heels. Just a breath here more. In child's pose, see if you can tuck your toes where you are. Sink the hips back towards the heels. And coming into hare pose, or rabbit pose, grab the heels with your hands. Go ahead and curl the chin to your chest. Place the crown of the head just in front of the knees and lift the hips up. So you should get the upper back kind of pulling and stretching. You're grabbing onto the feet, lifting the chest, lifting the butt. We take 1 or 2 more breaths. And then gently sinking the hips back to the heels. Walk the arms out in front of you and see if you can pounce straight into high plank. Inhale, come forward, shoulders above wrists, and then lower down through chaturanga until you're flat. Again, hands off the side of the mat, chest and legs together now. So inhale, lift both. Exhale, lower down. Really try and keep the toes pointed. 2 to go, lifts, inhale, and lower. Emphasize the legs here, do one more, lift. And exhale to lower down. Either push up through plank or come back through tabletop and into downward facing dog. And again, once again, walk the hands towards the back of the mat into a forward fold. Roll up the spine all the way through to standing. Reach your arms up at the top nice and high. And very simply interlacing the hands behind the lower back. Take your time with this one and go slow. Gently roll back the shoulders, big bend in the knees and fold. You feel out just what's a kind of intelligent edge for right now. Don't strain the shoulders too hard. 2, maybe 3 more breaths. And releasing the hands to the floor. We'll come straight through a flow here. Walk the hands out. High plank. Bend at your elbows for chaturanga. Pull the chest through the arms into upward facing dog. And lift the hips into downward facing dog. And we'll come through 2 more rounds of sun salutation. So lift the heels and bend the knees. Step up to the top of the mat. Take a halfway lift and flatten out your back. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to stand for the ceiling. Reach for the ceiling. Up and nice and tall. And then folding straight back down. Hands to the ground. Halfway lift. Really pull the shoulder blades back. And then step back to plank to find chaturanga. Bending at the elbows. Up dog pulls the chest through the arms. And down dog lifts the hips up and back. A breath or 2 more in down dog. And then again, returning to the top of the mat, feet towards the hands, walk, step or jump. Halfway lift inhale, flatten out your back. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to stand all the way up, reach for the ceiling, nice and tall, squeeze the butt. And then one more time, folding forward, hands coming down. And halfway lift, flatten out. Step or jump back into chaturanga, half plank. Pull the chest through the arms into up dog. And then finding down dog, lifting the hips up and back. And we'll pretty much keep moving straight away here. Raise your right leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale, knee to the nose, pull it in tight. Inhale, lift it back up. In fact, do that one more time and really emphasize the rounding of the upper back. Pause there, tap the knee to the floor, pull it back to the chest and shoot the leg up. And now over to the left elbow. Cross it underneath the body, tap. Inhale, lift it back up and step the foot in between the hands, lifting the chest just off the front thigh, sweeping the arms back into arrowhead, keeping the back leg nice and firm. 2, maybe 3 more big breaths here. And then gently placing the hands on the floor, drop the back knee, raise the arms up into low lunge. We're going to go slow in this first round. In this low lunge, Anjaneyasana, lift the chest nice and high. Start to suck your belly in nice and tight and squeeze your left butt cheek. Palms touch over the head and try and pull that prayer back a little bit. We'll take just 1 to 2 more big breaths. And as you exhale, start to twist. Hook your left elbow around the front knee, hands coming together, pushing into the prayer position so the hips can sink for just a breath or 2 more here. Tucking the back toes. Now, in one movement, lift the back knee and reach the arms out in front of you. Thunderbolt, big breath in. Sweep the arms back, arrowhead. Drop the back knee, raise the arms up into low lunge. In this low lunge, pull the elbows back. Now, stick with me here. Try and straighten through your front leg and lift the front toes as you then fold forward into half Hanuman. One more big breath there. Very short hold there. Rebend the front knee, arms up once again, big breath in. And into the twist. Hook the left elbow around the knee, press into the prayer. 1 breath at the bottom here. Good, and 1 movement. Back knee lifts, reach the arms out, thunderbolt, big breath in. Arrowhead, sweep the arms back. Drop the back knee, arms up, low lunge. Pull the elbows and hands back. Big breath in. As you reach the arms higher, straighten through the front leg and bow forward, sending the hips back. 1 more breath at the bottom here. Relax the shoulders. Back into low lunge. Bend the front knee, arms up. Prayer touch and then turn to your right to hook the left elbow. 1 breath here. 1 more breath here. Thunderbolt. Lift the back knee. Reach the arms out in front of you. Big breath in. Now it's going to change here. Hands to prayer. Skandasana at the back of the mat. Sit your butt towards the left heel. Take your time. It's a little bit of a strong position for now. We'll just take an extra breath here. Sinking the hips, lifting the chest, however. And then we're going to turn to the back of the mat. You'll lose me on camera, but stick with my voice. Turn to the left. Left hand raises up into simple twist. And then 1 movement into wild thing. Stepping the left foot up and over the right one. Lifting the hips, turning the chest. Take a breath or 2 here. Nice and deep. And 3-leg dog. Left hand down, left leg up. And in 1 movement, knee to the nose. Pull it in. Inhale, shoot the leg up. Again, knee to nose. And then kiss the knee to the ground. Back to the chest and shoot it back up. Over to the right elbow now, cross and touch. Inhale, lift it up, and then step the foot in between the hands. Puff the chest out a little, lift the chest into arrowhead and sweep the arms back. Couple of breaths here, nice and long, deep. And gently drop the back knee, arms up, low lunge, prayer touch. We stay for a few breaths here, lifting through the chest. Suck in the belly and squeeze your right butt cheek. Elbows back. Breath or 2 more here. And twist. Hook your right elbow around the knee. Now, sink the hips a little, but really push into the prayer so the twist is deepening. Let's take an extra breath or 2 here. All right. Lift the back knee. Reach your arms out. Runner's lunge or thunderbolt. Reach out. Big breath in. Sweep the arms back, arrowhead. Drop the back knee, arms up, low lunge. Big breath in. It's going to change. Straighten through the front leg and fold into half Hanuman. We'll just take a breath or 2 more there. All right. Rebend the left knee. Arms up, low lunge. Big breath in. Into the twist. Hook the elbow. 1 breath at the bottom. Lift the back knee, reach your arms out, thunderbolt, big breath in. Arrowhead, sweep the arms back. Drop the back knee, arms up, low lunge. Straightening through the front leg and folding half Hanuman. Breath at the bottom. Good, rebend the front knee, arms up, low lunge. Prayer touch and twist to the left, hooking the elbow. Breath or 2 here. And this time, thunderbolt, reach your arms out, hold for a sec, big breath in. Skandasana at the other end. Butt to the right heel as you turn the toes out, sit the butt down, good. Hold for a tick here. And exactly the same fashion as the other end of the mat. We start to turn to the right, find simple twist. The right hand raises up and directly into wild thing as you're ready. Right foot up and over the left leg, lifting the hips, turning the chest. Couple of breaths here. And then in one movement, we come through a flow. So as the right hand comes down, you're already lowering into chaturanga. Up dog pulls the chest through. And down dog lifts the hips. And as soon as you hit down dog, walk, step, or jump to the top of the mat. Take an inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Feet together. Inhale to stand, reach and stretch up. And into chair. Bend the knees, sink the butt. Turn to your right and hook your left elbow around the knee. Sit the butt down. 1 or 2 more breaths. Now go slow, but lift the left foot up off the ground. Take your time. Send it out the back. And when you can, step back to crescent lunge. Arms up. Still with me, good. Straighten through the front leg. And then gently, just take the front knee off lock. Sweep your arms back like arrowhead, keeping the legs straight. And then interlace the hands behind the lower back. Now, you might have to shorten up your stance a little. Start to bow forward. And when you're ready, straighten through your front leg a touch more. And we'll try and stay here for 3, maybe 4 more breaths. Nice and balancy here. 1 more big breath. Back up into crescent, arms up, bend the front knee. Reaching eagle wrap, your right arm underneath your left one. Inhale to lift the chest and elbows up, squeeze your left butt cheek here. A breath or 2 more. And warrior 2. So look forward, open the arms, spin the back heel down, straighten through the front leg as you reach up and back. And then rebend the front knee for side angle. So right hand down, left hand up, into a half bind here, wrapping it behind the lower back. Not such a long hold in this shape. It's quite a strong position, especially when you keep the integrity. Back leg nice and firm, chest rolling back. Breath or 2 more. Good. Let's keep moving. Inhale, stand up, release the bind. Flip the front palm, reach up and back, reverse the shape. And we'll stay a little longer now in triangle. So reach the hand out, reach the chest out, 2 straight legs, right hand down, left hand up. We stay here and breathe here. Two more breaths. Keep the chest turning up towards the ceiling. And as you bring the left hand down, start to turn to the left hand side of your mat, turning the right foot in. Now as we arrive here, take a halfway lift. Start to take the hands towards your back foot, walking the chest across. Now don't go crazy on this side. This left leg's a little colder than the right, so be conservative. Just take a breath or 2 more here. And then half lift, come back through center and take the chest over towards the right leg and bow towards it. You might even catch a hold of the calf. This one can be a little deeper, the leg's a little warmer, so pay attention to your body, but draw yourself towards your foot. Take 2 more breaths here. And then continue to go to your right. Turn your right foot back towards the top of the mat as you find runner's lunge once again. And simply drop down the back knee. Arms up into low lunge. And once you're here, right hand forward, left hand back into an open twist. Now, squeeze your left butt cheek. So the left hip is coming forward, but the chest is turning back. It's a bit of a contrast. As you find this position, left hand down the thigh, right hand to the knee as a first step there, and sort of just lifting the chest. If you want to go a little differently and further here, right hand raises up. Possibly you pick up the back foot and grab the shin. and sink the hips into this shape, but priority is lifting the chest up, not the twist to the left. The twist is just to grab the leg if it's there. Lifting through the heart here, squeezing your left butt cheek and just taking maybe 2 more breaths now. Hands to the floor and looking for one movement into wild thing again. So back knee lifts up, right hand raises up, maybe one step over the leg into wild thing. We take a breath or 2 more here. And if you can, in one big step, right foot up between the hands. And we've got a little bit of work to do on the one leg here. So I really suggest bringing the hands out in front of you, lifting the back leg first to come into warrior 3, and then elevating yourself up into that T shape, holding there, kicking strongly, taking 2 more big breaths, drawing your left knee to your chest, come up to standing, pull it in, nice and tight, squeeze, and then point your left knee down, take the top of the foot, and we'll have a little look for Chapasana here. So keep your right hand at heart center. My suggestion is stay tight with your left butt cheek. Bow forward just a little bit, but not too far. Now do most of the hip rotation here. Left hip starts to lift up, incrementally adding on bits of forward fold. And maybe the right hand comes down to the floor, maybe not. Kicking the foot away from the butt. Taking 2 more deep breaths, fixing your gaze, and gently step the feet together. Roll up the spine all the way through to standing. Nice big hold there. Reach up. Chair, last little bit. Bend the knees and sink the butt. Lift the heels, separate the knees, and sink your butt down. Once you're there, draw the chest down towards the floor. Jump off this path wherever you want to. You can take the arms out to the sides and then wrap them around the legs to cup the heels. Draw the chest down here, and we'll just take 2, maybe 3 more long breaths. Really pin the knees back by squeezing the shoulders back. And then hands on the ground. Straight jump back into chaturanga. So as you lift your butt up a little, shoot back, up dog follows, down dog follows that. Settling the heels and taking just a couple of breaths there, and down dog. And again, returning to the top of the mat. Walk, step or jump, feet towards the hands, feet together. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold back in. Inhale to stand for the ceiling, reach up. And exhale back to chair. Bend the knees, sink the butt, twisting off to your left. Hook the right elbow. Sit down nice and low here. Now, take your time with this next step. Picking up the right foot. Taking time to sort of send the leg out the back. Lingering. And then setting the foot down. Raising the arms up into crescent lunge. Tricky transition. Straighten through the front leg. Not all the way straight, just off lock. Sweep the arms back. Really try and flick your tailbone up a little bit more here. Interlace the hands behind the lower back. And then bowing in any amount as you lift the hands up. Now the back thigh gets really firm here. Level out the breath. Two more. Bend the front knee, crescent lunge, arms up. Eagle wrap, left arm underneath the right one. Inhale, elbows lift up. Little back bend, but now squeeze the shoulders down your back. Drop the shoulders away from your ears, but keep the back bend happening. Lifting the chest. Breath or two more. Warrior two. Look forward, open the arms, spin the back heel down, straighten through the front leg and reach up and back to reverse the shape. And then finding warrior two once again to find side angle. Left hand coming down, Inside the foot, top arm wrapping behind the lower back. Turning back your right shoulder here. Back leg remaining firm and strong. Still breathing. Just one more breath. Short hold in side angle. Inhale, stand, release. Straighten through the front leg, reach up and back. And then reaching forward for triangle. Reach out. Left hand down, right hand up. Turning back the top shoulder here. One to two more breaths. And bringing the right hand to the floor. We turn to the side of the mat. So turning the front foot in. This time, take a halfway lift to lengthen and just bow deeply between the legs here. Now, my suggestion is to walk the hands underneath the legs, fingers face back, and then kind of rounding the upper back a little bit more. As you keep on walking the hands underneath, maybe for some of us the head will come down. It's a big shape there, but let's take just a few breaths more. One more big breath now. Halfway lift. Walk the hands back to the top of the mat. Runner's lunge finds low lunge. So drop the back knee down. Arms up. Left hand forward and right hand back. An open twist. Set yourself up. Either right hand down the thigh or send a little bit of weight forward and think about picking up the back foot, taking it into hand. Left hand might be raising, but squeeze your right butt cheek here. Stay with breath. Squeeze in the right butt cheek. Couple more here. One, maybe two more. Hands on the ground. Simple twist. Left hand raises up and coming towards wild thing. So left foot up and over the right leg. Turn the hips. Lift the chest. Couple of big breaths here. And then one big step, left foot between your hands. And from there, runner's lunge. I suggest bringing the hands a little further forward. Lift the back leg first. And then elevate into warrior three. Hold there. Kick strongly out the back, belly in. Chest comes forward a little. Breath or two more. And stand up, knee to chest, pull it in. Catch your balance and then point the knee down to practice Chapasana. So take the top of the foot, squeeze your butt, suck your belly in, hand to heart center. So a little bit of tilt forward, then lift the hip up, bow forward a little more, and keep sending yourself into it. Go slow, concentrate on your body. We take nice long breaths here. Breathing smoothly and slowly. Maybe two more. And step up, bend the knees, roll up the spine, nice hold there. Reach up. This time, fold forward. We're going to try and come straight into crow. So hands on the ground. Drive the knees into your upper arms. Really hug them in. Clamp them in. Round your upper back. Shift body weight forward as the head comes down. The heels and hips come up, squeezing the feet in. We take a breath or two more wherever you're at. And as soon as you're ready, please shoot back to chaturanga or step back to plank and lower into chaturanga. Up dog, we'll find down dog. And from there, drop down to the knees. And we'll find just a little moment of pause, a moment of rest. And I might explain where we're going to go in tripod headstand. So I can't stress it enough that if this is your first time doing this, really please go really slowly, really gently and conservatively. You know, the neck is not something to be kind of messed with. we don't really condition the neck much with strength and stuff with whatever we're doing, even yoga or outside of yoga, unless it's specified. So you got to be careful with it. So be intuitive, be sensitive, and ultimately conservative here. If you're going to use a wall, but don't use it as a crutch for too long. But I think there's some real tips I can give here for the entry, at least, into tripod headstand. The strength for it, we really want to rely on the upper body strength for it. So shoulders, basically your chaturangas, getting nice and strong is like your primary prep for it. But yeah, let's go through some tips. Go slow, please, promise me. You're at home, you're unsupervised, you're all by yourself. So be gentle, be careful, this is your neck. All right, so first tip, hands on the ground next to the knees. And the main thing that I see in classes is people not creating the tripod shape, which is really important to create a three-pointed balance with your head and the two hands in a triangular fashion. So it's really symmetrical and balanced. So as the hands come next to the knees, the butt lifts up and the crown of the head dives down. So my suggestion is tuck your chin to your chest and then put the head onto the floor. Now when I come down here, my hips are lifted, and what I notice is a few things. One, I can see my hands, so I've got that tripod. Too often, I see people bringing their hands next to their ears or next to their head, and that scares the bejesus out of me. I don't know what's going to happen there, but it's not good. So hands down, you should be able to see your fingers, and then anatomically, what we're creating is a 90-degree angle at the elbow. Very, very nice anatomical position. So forearm to upper arm, 90 degrees, and I should be able to see my fingers. Now from there, this is where you go gently and slowly and you jump off this path wherever you need, all right? Be honest with yourself. Head down. Hips up. So it's kind of like down dog. Now, you've got to push the hands into the ground. So you're feeling like you're forcing the hands into the ground. And so there's a little bit of tension that comes off the neck. You need to keep those hands in the floor. Once you're there, don't let your elbows fall out to the side. In line with your wrists, one knee to one elbow, and you test that out. If that's not happening, if that feels yucky, come out straight away. If you're comfortable, try the other knee onto the elbow. Now heels in towards the butt. That's helping the gravity come up rather than down. Now from there, it's all about the tilt of the tailbone. So from here, lifting the butt up above your head. Go slow. Strong shoulders, round your upper back, push into the floor, and then tilt. Stay in that tuck position. If it's comfortable, you elevate your legs. Otherwise, stay in that tuck. Take a few breaths if you need, if you can, and then come out of it gently. So we're going to try it one more time. And that just initial position, getting the knees onto the elbows is absolutely foundational, and that's more than enough just to build a little bit of strength through the neck, through the shoulders, but I can't stress it enough. Don't get into bad habits of resting all your body weight into your head and therefore your neck. It's just not designed to take that kind of weight, especially when you've got these two hands on the floor with all this muscular strength in your upper body to support you there. So I can't stress it enough. It doesn't feel that nice, and it's quite a strong position, especially when you're doing it with integrity, but pushing the hands into the ground like you're trying to do a kind of push-up. So we'll go through one more time, but either try it again, or I'm going to take you towards some tips towards crow. Now in crow, one of the positions that we take is to clamp the knees to the outer arm as a bit of a, I don't want to say beginner, but an entry-level kind of position. Ultimately, the knees are behind the arms and you're squeezing the thighs in towards your chest. But here on the outside of the arms, you can clamp a little more and you can get a bit more traction on it. So that's what I'm going to suggest here for the transition, especially if it's your first time coming into it. Now, we're going to work with the first position of tripod headstand to think about coming towards crow. I'll guide you through. Again, if it's your first time doing tripod, forget about doing tripod to crow, all right? Just keep working on the headstand. I feel like I need to say these things. Hands on the ground, head comes down, lift the hips, one knee, one arm, the other. Now, you're kind of going to reposition your knees a little bit here, a bit more towards the outside, but start to clamp your elbows in. This is all going to make sense
as you start to lower your hips a little, so now the thighs are resting on the elbows, lift the chin and then lift the gaze. So you're kind of more flat in your crow than anything, and then you just keep the chest lifting up, keep the butt lifting up. Work on that transition because it's super tricky feeling your body weight shift into your hands, off your head. So you've got to kind of go pretty slow with it. But the two things that I suggest is that feeling of the butt coming down and the head starting to lift up and forward from that tripod position. So one more time, if you haven't had enough already, clamping, butt down, rock back, chest up, and maybe crow happens at some point there. I'm sure you've probably had enough of that. So let's come down onto the belly, lay flat for just a few moments here. Oh, so after all that compression, we'll get into a nice little back bend here. Go ahead, take the hands just about as wide as the mat. Lift the chest up into seal, hands out in front of you. And just starting to relax through the lower back a little bit. Relaxing the belly. 3 to 4 more deep breaths here. And release. The chest coming down, pushing back to tabletop, and we're going to back that up with camel. So straight into it, walk the hands back and lift the chest, come into a standing kneeling position, hands to the lower back. Even if you're going to go hands for the heels, lift the chest, squeeze your butt, and then roll back the shoulders. Keep the chin in for now. Go hands to heels when you can, but once you're there, squeeze the butt again and suck the belly in. Now really puff the chest up, squeeze the shoulders back, and push the head back to open up the chin. Stay with the tension through the pelvic region. Keep the breathing nice and smooth and gentle. Just 2 more here. As you inhale, lifting up and sitting down onto the heels. Just for a moment, make sure your lower back is completely settled before you take your legs out to the side and then come to a seated position and on our way to gomulkasana. So left leg on the bottom, heel draws back towards the right hip, other leg over the top, and trying to slide the knees pretty much on top of each other to then fold forward. Now, I know it's not the nicest shape for a lot of us, so figure 4 is right there, ankle on the knee, or even a loose cross-legged position is going to be more than enough to fold forward and bring yourself into that. We'll take a little pause here, allowing for the heart rate to settle and slow. Deepening the breath, smoothing it out. Relaxing again completely through the jaw and the shoulders. Inhale, chest lifts up. Kicking the right leg out to the right. Lifting the chest and arms, turning towards your right thigh and then folding forward nice and deeply here. Relaxing the left shoulder down. And since we're in these slightly longer holds, there's way more time to be a touch more considerate to the body. So there's a different level of tenderness that comes into your concentration here. And quite often in these postures, one of the defining shifts that you can create is really a shift of mood. The breath will help, the body positioning and the alignment will help, but really a sense of awareness in what's going on, kind of taking yourself in a larger perspective
Keeping in mind that overall intention of well-being and warmth towards yourself. And just take 3 more deep breaths with that kind of attitude infused into it. Inhale, chest lifts up, reverse tabletop. Hands just behind the hips, roll back the shoulders, scoop the butt up. Just 2 breaths at the top. Squeeze your butt, lift nice and high, and release. Coming into the other side of gomulkasana. So right leg is now on the bottom, left leg on the top. Wrap them up, smush the knees, lift the chest, and then fold in. So your variation. And even if you're comfortable with gomulkasana, sometimes just changing it to figure 4 might be just more kind of, in a way, medicinal for you. So it's something that's more appropriate for your body on this day. One position isn't necessarily better than the other, just more appropriate. And it's reference to how your body is right now, not how it was yesterday or how you want it to be, but its current state, and you're responding with compassion. You're not coming in with a determined mind to the posture. There's a flow, there's an agreeability. You're encouraging softness by soothing the nervous system with the breath as you breathe deeply, smoothly, slowly through your nostrils. Few more breaths here now. Softer again through the shoulders and the jaw. Inhale, chest lifts up. Left leg kicks out to the left. Raise the chest and the arms. Turn towards your left leg and fold forward. Softening the right shoulder especially here. And in a sense, breathing into the lower back here. So expanding down into the lower portions of the belly, which forces that pressure into the lower back seemingly. It's kind of a visualization more than anything. One or two more breaths now. Lifting up the chest. Skip the reverse tabletop. Bend your knees, roll down onto the back and come straight into bridge instead. Feet on the floor. You might take a moment to drop the knees from side to side if the lower back is a little uncomfortable. But as soon as you're ready, tilt the tailbone up and lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Holding and breathing here. Now, just one round of this. So if you want to take wheel, hands next to the ears and press the chest up and back. And if you're staying in bridge, keep the back of the heart lifting. We'll take just 3 more breaths now. Smooth exhalations, keeping the tension of your glutes, your butt cheeks.
and release. Coming down. Once you're there, drop the knees again from side to side a couple of times. And then into an eagle wrap, wrapping the right leg over the left one. Dropping the legs down to the left into a twist. Opening the right shoulder out pretty broadly here. Any variation on a twist is really welcome. Try and relax in the space where your ribs meet your belly. It's quite specific, but try and follow it. Soften where your ribs meet your belly. Back through to center, onto the other side. Left leg wraps over the right one. Taking over. A few breaths there. And then now back up through the center. Do absolutely anything else you need before Shavasana, hugging the knees in or finding happy baby if you like to. And then as you're ready, coming down, laying flat. Once you're laying down flat, take a moment to soften. Really try and bring the significance of rest to your mind. Prioritize it here. You might even have to make a little agreement with yourself. This is my time to rest. This is my time to just have a few minutes to do nothing. And that includes on a mental level. Now the mind is going to continue. Thoughts will keep on coming. But how much you engage with those thoughts is up to you. One thing that can help here is to just pay attention to sensations, the feeling, the kind of energetics of this posture. It's not like sleep. This is a conscious rest and an undistracted one. There's no book, there's no TV or phone or whatever. Just you, your body, quietness and stillness. And not much more than that. Don't overcomplicate it. Nothing mystical. Just stillness, quietness, a feeling of rest. I'll sign off, but I really encourage you to take at least 5 minutes where you are. Much love to you as always, and a pleasure as always. Namaste, and I'll see you next time.